Well, hello and welcome. Now we're going to work on the letter I. The letter I is pretty straightforward because it is a straight shape. So if you've got someone you know who has a letter I in their name, like Isabel or Ian or anything else like that, I is a great letter to work on, and it's full of opportunity because it's a fairly straightforward starting shape. So an I, in general, is a pillar. You've got top, you've got sides, you got a bottom. So I like to add curls to things. So I would do things like this. You could do whatever you want to with your eye. I like to add an inner layer. So then the question is, what else might we want to do to this eye? We could add flowers to it. We could add other kinds of creatures to it. I think what I'll do is add 2 windows to it. On this side, we're going to add, I guess it'll come out of here. Set of flowers, some petals, and leaves. I'll put on the flower heads up over there. And then over on this side we'll have a butterfly. Alright, butterfly going. And antennas. Okie dokie. So we got the basic shape. And we've got our waterproof pen. We're going to draw over this with. Be careful when you're working with the pen that you do not let your hand drag on anywhere that is wet with the pen. That'll smear it. The ink dries relatively quickly, but it does not dry instantaneously. So you have to be careful when it is in that drying stage. Windows. The leaves. struts to where the flower heads will go. Butterfly. Open the antennas. Alright, so we got the basic shape of it. Give that a moment to dry while we ponder some colors. I think maybe a purple. Go with the purple, about purple and yellow. Mix things up a little. So we have this purple sitting right here. Now let's go with that purple. Since we've got it there anyway. That's part of the benefit of mixing colors on the side of the pin in a place where you can reuse it. Those colors don't go bad, they just dry out and then you just re-wet them. So now this purple, which served a different purpose in the past, now gets to be part of this letter I. Purple for many regions was the color of royalty, because the dye used to make the color purple was fairly rare and expensive. So only royalty could afford it, and then it got to the point where they would mandate it that only royalty would wear it because it became associated with royalty, and they didn't want any commoner wearing the color of royalty. Alright, so we got the purple for the shape. And let's give some petals to our flower. Okie doke. Let's put some green in for the leaves. Alright, we talked about yellow. I think I will go with, this is a medium yellow over here. Got a nice richness to it, which will hold its own against the purple. Good to think not only just of what the color looks like on its own, but also what it looks like in conjunction with the other colors you're using. Because, as you've probably seen in life, colors can look very different when they're put up against other colors. Suddenly the first color looks a little greener or redder or all sorts of things based on another color that it happens to be near. So it is a pretty cool effect, and one to keep in mind when you are doing painting activities. So this color here is called medium yellow, and it looks sort of grayish in the pan, but the color is actually this nice rich yellow. So this is another good reason to have a color chart done, so that you can see what the colors look like on actual paper. Alright. Unfortunately, these are drying pretty quickly. I want to put another set of purple petals down, but I want those first petals to completely dry so that the new ones don't merge in to these old ones. But it seems like that's dry already, which is great. Now I want a really light petal, which I think we'll get here with the second petal set. There we go. So we get some petals, some darker and some lighter is what I was aiming for. And so they still look like distinct petals and not just some sort of a blur of a blob. Alright, so now for the inner hole areas, I want it to be darker. I have this darker purple right here. Let's give that a shot. Let's see if that'll be dark enough. Well, not quite dark enough on the first pass, but let's put that down. Put some down here. Let's put a second pass over it. No, I still don't think that'll be dark enough for it. Add a little black. I don't want it to be black, I just want it to be a darker purple. Alright, so I think we've achieved that. Alright, you can see that the purple ran a little into the yellow over here. That is alright. Put a little more yellow on top of that. Just to lighten that up a little. And we will dab that same color in the other two, so that it matches a little better. There we go. Alright, I like that soft, springy look to it that we've got with the light purple and the flowers and the butterfly. Still like a little more detail in here, so I think I will add a little bit of gold dotting to the edge of the eye. I could try yellow dotting, but yellow wouldn't necessarily sit on top of everything and be nice and visible. Gold tends to stay visible. It still has a nice yellowish feel to it. You don't want anything too bright. I think the yellow does a nice job of, or the gold does a nice job against the purple of staying in the background enough, but giving a sense of a little bit of decoration there. So there we have it. The letter I.